from the 6th Masters of the FIBA 3x3 World Tour season in Mexico City. We sit down with the very talented David Seagers from New York, Harlem, who talks about his love for kicking and punching. Not on the basketball court, thankfully, but through karate, where he holds a black belt. Wil Martinez was a champion last time he played at the Mexico City Masters in 2016, but missed last year's event due to the devastation of Hurricane Maria. The Ponce star opens up about Puerto Rico's recovery from the disaster. And we chat with Sao Paulo, DC baller William Evangelista, who can cook on and off the court. Plus, stay tuned to the end of the magazine for our special top 5 plays of the tournament. It's quick, it's epic, and now it's Olympic. Welcome to the world of FIBA 3x3 basketball, a game played with non-stop music on a half court between two teams of 3 players going to 21 points with 10 minutes on the game clock. Previously at the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, Novi Sad Awada continued their dominance with a 4th Masters of the season and won their 22nd straight game by defeating Riga in the final at Debrecen. Serbian teams have hogged the mic this year, but now that's about to change. As the 3x3 World Tour changes continents, here's a prophecy. The winners in Mexico City will not come from Serbia. Novi Sad and Liman Tesla won't be menacing in Mexico, and no Serbian team qualified for the event. It's time to crown a new champ, who will also book a ticket directly to the Beijing final. So who's it gonna be? Well, that means you're just gonna have to watch to find out. Listen, I'm still catching my breath after an incredible day 1 in Mexico City, where the team that stole the show had to be from Brazil, Sao Paulo, DC. The Brazilians did it the hard way through qualifying, but showed they had more energy than a Brazilian football commentator. Goal! See, now my neck hurts. Sao Paulo, DC fell behind early to Saskatoon before storming back to take the game into overtime. The boys from Brazil would not be denied, with Jonatas Melo getting low like Lil Jon, as Sao Paulo pulled off a big upset.
And you can feel that yell coming from the bottom of his toes.
Against Princeton, Sao Paulo finally looked like they were done. With Kareem Maddox kissing the rim, Princeton looked like they were headed to a win and led by as many as 7. But if you thought Sao Paulo was gassed, you better think again, as their comeback on the tour was more impressive than my man Eminem's. Melo sent Denmark Raiders packing like it was vacation time before becoming the hero from the free throw line, as Sao Paulo won 21-20 to book a place in the quarterfinals. Veteran team New York Harlem showed they were ageless in Mexico City like Salma Hayek, with a perfect start to the event. After a 21-10 beatdown of Bahia Blanca, number 1 seeds Piran were up next. Dominic Jones, a.k.a. Disco Damo, once again put on his dancing shoes and clowned on the Slovenians with 13 points as New York Harlem won easily 21-14. The best was saved for last, though, with Saskatoon and Princeton fighting it out like Nicki and Cardi at Fashion Week in a must-win game. Princeton had the early advantage, but the game tightened after Kareem Maddox got ejected. It came down to sniper Steve Sir and Craig Moore. Sir splashed one from behind the arc to cut the lead, but Moore answered right back with the shooter's touch. It was a tense ending, but Damon Huffman sealed the deal from the stripe as Princeton breathed a sigh of relief to progress to the quarters. Thanks for coming, Saskatoon. Despite suffering a loss, Piran still made it through to the quarterfinals along with unbeaten number 2 seeds Amsterdam Enox Steels, number 3 seeds Ljubljana and Rio de Janeiro, while number 13 seed Ponce were the lowest seeds to make it through after upsetting Ljubljana. Saskatoon were the highest seeds to miss out, and fellow winless teams Bahia Blanca and Villa Maria also said adios. Delhi were the odd men out in Pool C after splitting their games and losing out in the tiebreaker. David Seagers loves throwing punches and kicks. Fortunately, it's not on the basketball court. The New York Harlem player has a hidden talent in karate, having started martial arts at an early age.
I was young in karate. I started at about the age of 4 years old. I made my black belt about 9, so I studied every day, and we went to played on the national team, so we went around and we traveled on a national karate team. Of course, karate has helped me become a better basketball player because when I was younger, it was just exercise. That's what it was at first. But then when you get older and you look back at it, it's like it gives you discipline. It teaches you hard work and all this stuff that you need in basketball. And I learned that at a young age from karate, So it helped me, and it helps me be light on my feet, quick jumps, and all type of little things that you don't think helps, but it matters,
Now, there's a whole lot of cool nicknames on the FIBA 3x3 World Tour, but Seagers might own the dopest of them all. Super Dave!
Why is my nickname Super Dave? New York City street ball, we were playing, and we were down in a game, and I caught a nice dunk, and it was like, oh, this guy's Superman, he saved the day, and it became Super Dave over time.
With an experienced group of players, the 2015 and 16 Mexico City Masters runner-ups are always a team to watch out for.
We got our core now, so we think this is going to be our team for at least the next few years, hopefully. And we got a good leader in Damo, and it's going to be hard to beat us because we got players and we know the rules, we know how to play it. Hopefully we're going in the right direction.
What makes New York Harlem special is the tight bond between Seagers and Disco Damo, who have been lifetime friends.
Me and him go way back to high school years when we were maybe 13, 14 years old. Before high school, actually, we were playing on the same AAU team. He came on my team and took my spot on one of my teams when we were younger. So he was starting over me. Then we played in high school for the championship, and he'll never hear the end of it because we won and I had about 30 points. So from there on, he just became a really good friend, more like my brother, So we have a really good relationship. We fight, we argue, but that's what brothers do,
All right, here's a quick look at the quarterfinal bracket, highlighted by 2 teams from the U.S., Brazil, and Slovenia. First up, can veterans New York Harlem upset number 3 seed Ljubljana? Just like day 1, the epic action continued with both teams bringing their A-game. Disco Damo's dizzying moves were causing headaches for defenders as New York Harlem started fast to lead by 6 points. But hold up. Yasmin Herzegovats had other ideas as he started to make it rain, storm, and thunder. To cut the lead to 1 point, David Seagers, a.k.a. Super Dave, had a chance to win the game, but had 2 super misses. The former 2-time Masters MVP, Yasmin Herzegovats, had ice running through his veins as he drained the Tissot buzzer beater as he kept Ljubljana's title hopes alive. Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, D.C. went at it in a battle of Brazil in a game where there was more tension than Machine Gun Kelly's diss track. You just knew this one was going to come down to the wire, right? Rio de Janeiro had a chance to win it, but Andre Stefanelli could only find air as the game headed to overtime. Sao Paulo had 2 opportunities to take it out with Jonatas Melo missing the bunny and William Evangelista wayward from deep. Stefanelli made him pay with a second Tissot buzzer beater in a row. So Sao Paulo get Brazilian waxed as Rio de Janeiro make it through to the semifinals.
It's the greatest feeling in the world to win a game like that, Overtime, buzzer beater. What else can we ask for? Unbelievable.
Number 2 seeds Amsterdam Enox Deals were looking to once again make the semifinals like they did in Debrecen. But Princeton came to play with Kareem Maddox making up for his day 1 ejection and cruel intentions for Jesper Jobse all over the court. Amsterdam was slow to get going, but their nasty pick-and-roll game finally got rolling when DeMeo Vanderhorst found a job who went straight to work. But Princeton had a point to prove in this one. and were doing it on both ends of the court. With Reem saying, "Mi casa ain't tu casa," Damon Huffman was hotter than jalapeno. And fittingly, Reem had the exclamation point as Princeton downed the number 2 seeds easily, 21-14.
Come out here after a turbulent day yesterday and take care of business. It feels really good. We play with a lot of guts.
Number 1 seeds, Piran, of course, were favored against 13 seed Ponce. But you should know by now that the Mexico City Masters is harder to read than my handwriting. There were more twists ahead, people. Wil Martinez won the title here 2 years ago and was playing like a boss as he splashed and splashed again from deep. Ponce led 17-10, but Piran came back with Gaspar Obnik nailing it from deep to get the score 20-18. There was no miracle comeback for Piran as Martinez hit the game winner to finish with 11 points and send the number 1 seeds in Mexico City packing.
Piran, that's a great team, but at the end of the day, in this 3-on-3, it's whoever comes and plays harder.
The moment we find out who's the best gunner in town. The final has 4 players shooting 15 shots worth 1 point from 3 destinations around the arc and 3 money balls worth 2 points from the 3x3 logo. And to spice things up a little bit, $5,000 USD on the table for whoever beats the all-time record of 15 points. And get this, 10 grand for whoever goes blackjack and scores all 21. The indoor setting of the Perisur shopping mall meant there was the possibility that the record could be broken. After all, this is where the record was set the last 2 years. Kiran Shastri from Delhi started fast and furious like Vin Diesel and set the pace with 12 big ones, including 2 money balls. I'll be honest, it looked like that was going to be too difficult to overcome. But that's because I forgot about the Canadian killer that goes by the name of Steve Sir. The Saskatoon sharpshooter drained his entire first rack and hit 13 of his first 15 shots. The all-time record was in sight, but Sir couldn't hit a money ball. Still though, Steve stormed from behind to take the shootout contest championship. William Evangelista doesn't just get cooking on the court. Away from basketball, the Sao Paulo DC player is actually a professional chef after following a rich family tradition.
Eu comecei a ser chefe de cozinha por conta da minha família. Minha família, todo mundo cozinha e eu desde criança ajudava minha mãe. E quando eu tive a oportunidade de fazer uma faculdade, eu escolhi a gastronomia, que dá a formação de chefe de cozinha. Comida saudável não tem a ver muito com por ser atleta, por ser jogador de basquete. É mais por uma opção de vida. Tem muita ligação com isso. A minha opção de vida é comer saudável, ter uma alimentação saudável. E assim eu consegui levar para agregar isso para as pessoas.
On and off the court, Evangelista's game is saucy and much to the delight of his teammates.
Coisas práticas. Então, macarronada eu faço no molho branco, no molho vermelho. Geralmente eu também gosto de fazer a comida típica do lugar que eu vou.
With a blossoming business and basketball career, Evangelista is living his dream.
Eu tenho a empresa de Chef Wil, que eu tenho um Instagram para ela também. E meus clientes, eles adoram, porque toda vez que eu viajo, eu mostro a comida, eu mostro o Chef Wil pelo mundo. Então, eu consigo mostrar muito bem as comidas típicas ao redor do mundo. E é possível jogar basquete mesmo tendo um serviço, trabalhando.
All right, let's play a game now with Evangelista, shall we? What foods are 3x3 players most similar to?
Soriani, chili. Bullet, espaguete. O bullet é escorregadio, é muito difícil conseguir marcá-lo. Mastorovic, cannelloni. Mavreides, cuscuz marroquino. Finska. Comida típica brasileira, porque sabe jogar no básico, tem todos os seus movimentos bem calculados. Ricks, paella. Muita ingredientes, muitos moves. Las manes, uma feijoada. Todo mundo gosta.
I'll be honest, the Chef Wil story made me more hungry for highlights. Good thing we had a loaded dunk contest with American Connor Barth, a.k.a. Bounce, Ukrainian Alexander Zakharov, and Gediminas Zitlinskas from Lithuania. Reminder, people, do not do these dunks at home. A point proven when in the semifinals, the 5'9" Zitlinskas had to exit after dislocating his elbow on a nasty fall. It left Bounce and Zakharov dueling in the final, and the American made a statement with a thunderous Throwback Thursday dunk over Zakharov. Zakharov couldn't quite get it going as Barth was living up to his nickname with a nasty reverse dunk off the bounce, followed by an aggressive standstill windmill. Zakharov was well beaten, but he saved his best dunk for last with a ridiculous two-handed windmill over Barth and three niños. So when the smoke cleared, Connor Barth, a.k.a. T-Rex, wins the title and takes home the $2,500 check. With the top two seeds eliminated, Ljubljana are the highest seed left and play Rio de Janeiro, while Princeton face surprise package team Ponce. In the first semifinal, Rio de Janeiro hoped to rattle Ljubljana early, and Fernando Colonades got him off to the perfect start with the one-handed flush. Having survived a scare in the quarterfinals, Ljubljana were out for an easier ride, and they showed off pretty teamwork to gain the edge. Blaž Šrenar was crushing on Rio de Janeiro and setting up Dejan Mlakar. Now, it was no Tiso buzzer beater this time. Birdman, though, finished things off from the inside and the outside as the number 3 seeds won big 22-9.
We had so many difficulties this season with injuries and everything. Of course, it's part of the game. We needed to overcome it, and we did it. So, it feels great.
It looked like the second semifinal would also be one-sided, with Team Ponce scoring the first 4 points. But Princeton fought back through Kareem Maddox beasting on the inside. It was Ream with the cream as the game went down to the wire. Craig Moore found the cheat code with a friendly roll to tie the score at 18 apiece. And then the game went full-blown crazy. At 19 apiece, with the magical 21-point mark in sight, Princeton blew 4 chances to win it, with Moore missing 3 times. Filling the 8 Mile track, Wil Martinez only needed 1 more opportunity. The Puerto Rican sniper said, "We ain't losing this one, not on my watch," as he played big bank take little bank with the Tiso buzzer beater and Ponce into the final, leaving Princeton heartbroken.
I appreciate my team for coming through for that game right there. But that team, Princeton, is a good team. Pero Puerto Rico going to the top, baby. Let's go.
That game winner was the perfect teaser, and it wasn't his first time. Wil Martinez memorably won the Mexico City Masters 2 years ago with Team Caguas when he scored the title clincher in the final against New York Harlem.
Well, Mexico City 2016 was a great experience. It was an opportunity that we didn't want to pass out. And we came here to Mexico and, we make it happen. And we were doing it for a real good cause that one of our friends passed away, Corky. So we wanted to win the whole thing for him. And we knew it was going to be tough, but we knew we were tough too. So I was able to come with tough shots to win games. And even in the final, I did it again. So I always remind me of Mexico City 2016. It stood in my heart. Like, I would never forget about that experience.
Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico last year, which meant Martinez was unable to play at the 2017 Mexico City Masters as he dealt with the tragedy.
In 2017, we couldn't make the trip because of the hurricane, so I'm happy to be back in Mexico. The experience was tough for everybody on the island because the power went off for like 4 or 5 months. Water, it was tough to get. Everybody was going crazy to get gas for the generator, and it was an experience that I take a lot from it because you learn from, you know, having such a bad time, and that helped you grow as a person, an experience like that.
With 3x3 now Olympic and ready to dazzle at Tokyo 2020, Martinez is inspiring Puerto Ricans everywhere to take up hoops.
In my neighborhood, which I come from, which is Gurabo, Navarro, and a lot of young guys that, you know, want to be, not like me, but they want to follow the same path. So it would be a great, great opportunity for me to show them, like, when you have a dream, like by working hard, you could get it done. So if we could make it as a 3x3 team to Olympic, it would be great. Because I know the whole island is going to be following us.
This epic Masters deserved an amazing finale, and Ljubljana and Ponce were determined to give us just that. The number 3 seeds were favorites, but Ponce was confident after already beating the Slovenians on day 1. As he has all event, Jasmin Hercegovac showed he had more range than a Texan, but Ponce held the early edge with Jared Ruiz, salsa-known fools, and Wil Martinez, FaceTime and Birdman. Ponce led 12-7 as their incredible event looked set to end in glory, but Ljubljana came roaring back through a familiar squawk. Caw-caw! Birdman stuffed the rim to energize his team, but Ponce had to answer like a cheat sheet. His name was Martinez. Ponce could almost taste victory up 17-12, but winning time equals Hercegovac's time. The Iceman wasn't being nice, man, as he coldly dropped 3 shots in a row from distance. Ponce couldn't recover as Birdman finished the job with a bucket inside and then set up Dejan for the layup as Ljubljana claimed the victory 21-18.
Put some respect on Ljubljana. They're the 2-time World Tour final winners, and they've added another Masters win to their masterful resume.
So it's the Slovenians who celebrate in Mexico City and become the 3rd team to book a ticket to the final in Beijing. Hercegovac was named MVP after scoring a ridiculous 15 points in the final and leading the scoring effort at the event with 42 big ones.
Now being again in the finals and win it after 1 year, it's priceless.
All right. I know this is what y'all been waiting for. The sublime and the ridiculous all together are in the top 5 plays of the Mexico City Masters. We start things off with Carlos Emery looking like a fire emoji, melting the Iceman himself, Jasmin Hercegovac. At number 4, when are people gonna start saying no when Disco Damo asks, may I have this dance? And then hit him with the J? At number 3, once again, it's a block party with Leonidas Melo sending Agustin Rios back to Buenos Aires with the postage stamp. At number 2, it's hammer time with Carlos Emery back with the sick reverse. Taking the top spot is Kareem Maddox, who not only shares my initials, but also my incredible leaping abilities. Man, the action has been so furious, I think it's time for a breather. But the 7th Masters of the season, it's not too far away. We're coming back September 22nd and 23rd from Hyderabad, India for the first time in World Tour history. So 3x3 touching down in the 2nd most populous country in the world. Serbian powerhouses Novi Sad Awada and Liman Tesla-Voda, hey, they're back. And they're aiming to dominate yet again with the final in Beijing. Not too far away, y'all. Remember, you can follow it live with the hashtag 3x3WT on FIBA 3x3 social media channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.